Welcome back. The Loeries Africa and the Middle East's Premier Awards for Creative Excellence in Advertising and Brand Communication is proud to announce its 46th annual Loeries Creative Week. Each year, the creative community from Africa and the Middle East converges in Cape Town to celebrate the region's most exceptional creative work. The Loeries Awards are the pinnacle of recognition for innovation, brand communication, showcasing the rich diversity of creative talent in the region. And we're joined virtually by Preetesh Sewraj, the Loeries CEO, to talk about the impact of the Loeries Creative Week. Preetesh, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Well, no doubt, the Loeries are the pinnacle of, creative ingenuity here in South Africa and beyond. And just briefly tell us about the Loeries Awards and their significance in the creative industry.
Yeah, so thank you, Simpior. The Loeries has been going on for 46 years now, so quite a long time, coming up on nearly half a century. And what we've been doing is celebrating the best in creative excellence, but specifically in brand communication. So we look at advertising, we look at the work that brands are actually doing, and we do this across Africa and the Middle East. So lots of people think of us as purely South African, but we work in Nigeria, in Kenya, in the United Arab Emirates, in Saudi Arabia. So in a lot of different countries on the same mission of really ensuring consumers getting the absolutely best advertising communication that they can get.
And how does the Loeries Awards ensure diversity and inclusivity in its programming and events?
Yeah, so throughout the entire thing, we're a non-profit organization. So we subscribe to the United Nations Unstereotype Alliance program as well, which is there to break down stereotypes in advertising. So even when we come to getting our judging panels together, we ensure there's diversity, equity, inclusion is part of that. When we ensure that we actually have programs to ensure we get more younger students from different previously disadvantaged backgrounds as well. So at every key touch point, what we're working on is to ensure that the diversity of thought that we bring into this advertising industry, into the brand communications industry, is sound and robust enough to actually share the lived experiences of the communities that we serve.
Yeah, and speaking of shared, from the communities that you served, how do the Loeries nurture, uplift and develop creativity in the region?
Yes, so there's a number of different things we do. Obviously, the Loeries Awards is just one part of that program itself. And the Loeries Awards, we call it an award, but it's actually research. We do research in terms of best work, and then we send it out into the industry so that people can actually use this to create better work. But over and above that, I travel quite a bit. As I said, I'm in Kenya, to Uganda, to Nigeria, to Dubai, going there and speaking to people about how to enhance creative excellence. We run different awards programs in places like Uganda and Mauritius to help them better unlock the work that's making a difference. And then over and above that, we have the biggest bursary program for the brand communications industry, which is the Loeries Creative Future Scholarship. We have a Loeries Youth Committee to give youth a stronger voice. And so these are just some of the programs that we have across the region that is really bringing unity in the region, but enhancing the quality of work that comes out of here.
Can you share success stories of past Loeries winners who've made a significant impact in the different industries?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always look at within the South African context, there's a great independent agency, Joe Public, who are doing amazing work. You know them for some of the great work that they've done on brands such as chicken brands and banking brands and those kind of sectors as well.
Yeah.
And it's been a core part of their work that they do. And then on the other spectrum, there's a design agency called Grid. And again, you may not know these names, but like an agency like Grid, I mean, their founders told me that one of the key things that's made a difference in their business was really winning the Loeries Awards. But over and above that, we have a number of different brands who have seen value from the learnings that come out of it, being able to better connect with consumers. And these are just, and again, if I could mention some brands, I would have mentioned some great brand names, but I think we'll keep that off. But essentially, a lot of these brands have had great success stories coming out of the Loeries just by being part of the programs.
And if you speak of success stories, how do we measure success in terms of where the different companies that won the awards have been before getting that award and after?
Yeah, so we maintain quite a robust database in terms of revenue from these organizations as well as headcount. So some of the key ways that we measure it is we can have a look at the revenue band in which these organizations were in and how they've progressed over the years, and then especially and tallied up to their wins. And separately, we can look at their headcount, which I think is so important, are these companies able to better hire more people through this? So these are just some of the metrics we keep, and are not exciting, but it really makes a difference when we actually look at it.
Because I know that there's so many, agencies that want to be a part of the Loeries. How do they go about doing that? And what is it that you look out for in terms of your selection criteria?
Yes, so it's very easy. Earlier this year, they had an opportunity to enter into our portal, which is now closed, and therefore we're doing the judging right now in the city of Cape Town. But what we look for first and foremost is innovation. We're an innovation research platform. So we look for innovation, the quality of the work, making sure it looks great, relevance to the brand, does it make a difference to brand, relevance to the consumers like you and I, does it make a difference to us, and relevance for the space in which shown. I mean, is this an ad that was designed for television and just put onto cinema, or was it thought about and said, if you're doing something in cinema, it needs to be specific, if you're doing something in television, it needs to be specific. So we go right down to really granular details in evaluating these ads.
Let's veer off a bit, Preetesh. Let's talk about, the evolution of artificial intelligence, especially in the brand communication space here in South Africa, because I suppose that AI is now the biggest threat in advertising. We've seen so many ads being completely generated by AI. How much of a threat is it, though?
I think it's even better. I think it's the biggest opportunity in a long time for advertising. And I'll tell you why, because what happens is good AI requires good prompts. I think one of the things we're seeing now is the emergence of new talent that need to come into the advertising industry who have the ability to utilize artificial intelligence. We're already seeing this with tools such as Midjourney or ChatGPT from some degree of copywriting. Essentially, it's an opportunity. Many years ago, when people wanted to create a print ad, they took pen and paper and they drew stuff. And then eventually now lots of people use Photoshop. The next evolution is tools such as Midjourney in the artificial intelligence space. So I think we're going to find that if you're willing to embrace these tools, you're willing to use it, the quality of the advertising that you and I as consumers are going to get are going to be much more robust, much more exciting, and a lot more creative overall.
You speak of opportunity, but what about the job losses as a result of, AI? Because I've seen a poster of a supermodel that is completely generated by AI, and it looks so legit. And I've heard a radio ad completely generated by AI, and I've seen a clip on social media of myself, or ostensibly advertising Bitcoin. Well, I've never advertised Bitcoin in my life, but it used my voice, it used my face, and it looks so legit. And our jobs are potentially under threat.
Yeah, I mean, what you're going to see, there's going to be unscrupulous actors out there who are going to utilize this technology for nefarious means, such as this, like trying to get you to sell Bitcoin when you'd never do it. But what you're also going to see that happens everywhere. If you look at the value of this, yes, there's going to be job losses in certain sectors, but it's going to be more like job migration, job evolution. Think about it today.
Right.
I mean, we don't need certain, like going back to the print example, the people who are operating print presses and laying out the letters and then stamping it, I forget what they're called. We don't need those jobs anymore, but you do have jobs that were created that people need. So eventually you're going to have a case that maybe there may be AI-based hosts that will come, but ultimately you still need human beings to program that, to direct it, to ensure they got the right prompts. There's a whole new career set that's coming up. There's a whole new opportunity that's out there as well. And that flux where jobs atrophy is not a bad thing. It's actually just a part of the process of innovation.
All right, Preetesh, lovely chatting to you. And we know that the Loeries continue to be the center of creative excellence here in South Africa and beyond. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning. Well, that was the Preetesh Sewraj, Loeries CEO, and we're hoping to be joined by Spusiso Gumbi, the SABC Head of Marketing, talking to us about the Loeries Creative Week that's set to be coming in the next coming days.